Gen Z doesn't want kids. It's crazy. We got another one from Antonio Talks. Let's get straight into it. Always remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Let's get straight into it.
So the birth rates for Gen Z are at an all-time low. Gen Z is having a historic decline in birth rates, with only 10% having children by age 23, compared to roughly 24% of millennials at that age. The baby bust is fueled by economic insecurity, with 39% delaying children due to financial pressures, alongside shifting life priorities, such as focusing on financial stability over early parenthood. Now, your boy don't fit into that category. I give glaze to my family all the time. Big shout out to my wife and big shout out to my kids. I am 24 and my wife is 25. We have twins that are turning 3 soon, and then a 1-year-old, all boys. Now, on the other hand, I don't down anybody that don't want kids, because kids are a big priority, right? In 2026, with everything so high, jobs not wanting to pay, why would people want to bring a child, another mouth to feed, when they barely survive in themselves?
Yeah, man. Like, congratulations to Antonio for having those kids at such a young age. We're the same age, you know what I mean? But it's one of them ones where, bro, even though I want kids, I'm always thinking every single day of that, bro. I need to basically just run up the bag and get way more income if I ever want to get into the position of me actually having those kids. Because, bro, in order for you to have kids, it's not cheap, bro. You're going to be spending quite a lot, and the energy and the time, the attention that you need in order to actually raise them, bro, it's not easy. It's not for the faint-hearted, you know what I mean? So I respect anyone that's young and actually still committed to having kids, as long as obviously they're responsible. They're not how we usually get within the community. Again, no offense, but we tend to have a lot of people that have kids and it's kind of like, should you really be having kids right now? Like, no job, no stable income, things like that. I don't really know in it, but that's just my personal opinion. And obviously just based on just trying to be a responsible adult. You know what I'm saying? But the issue is, and I find that this is what's going to end up happening just in the future, just going on. All the people that technically speaking are supposed to have kids, maybe for example, they're more, you could say progressive or valuable towards society. They're people that have gone, and actually gotten further education. They're people that are responsible, people that obviously care about the economy, things like that. These are people that should be having kids, because naturally you would kind of think that they're going to be able to produce and raise kids that are going to be way more productive to society and things like that. On the opposite hand, though, what's actually happening is that people that, again, I'm not God to be saying they shouldn't have kids and stuff, but yeah, people that, I don't know, come from broken households and stuff like that are the people that are basically having kids, and we can just basically see this cycle just keeps on spiraling and spiraling and spiraling again, and getting a lot of people that within society just like, bro, like, you can kind of tell that, bro, their upbringing wasn't necessarily the best. Do you know what I mean? But hey, that's just my personal opinion anyways. Let me know what you guys think down below in the comments as well. I'm very, very curious. But yeah, man, it's a shame.
So although I love kids and I low-key want more, I don't know, three kind of pushing to these kids, bad as hell. But whenever I'm on TikTok nowadays or Instagram, I'm always coming across a younger person from my generation stating how they don't want kids.
I'm selfish so I wouldn't have no kids. Niggas get mad when I say this, but at least I'm honest. Cause right now, if it's between me and them, I'ma choose me every time. So that's why I wouldn't have no kids. If a lot of y'all will just be real with y'all self, it'll be a lot less broken families. No lie.
I completely appreciate this brother for being honest, because I recently did a video like a month or two ago where this older man was like, he kind of regret having his kids. He was like probably late 40s, early 50s, and the video went stupid viral, right? And in the comment section, you got a whole bunch of other parents saying the same thing. So it's like, damn, y'all, that's crazy, bro. I knew everything that come with a parent lifestyle. Me and my wife, we didn't think having kids would ruin anything that we like to do. We was never the partying type. We wasn't out all the time. Shit, we was both homebodies, pretty well off. So shit, it just worked out for us. And to add on to what he was saying, man, you can't be selfish when you have kids. You literally can't. You will be a horrible parent if you're selfish. You got to get the essentials: food, clothing, a house to stay, and that is the bare minimum. That's just,
Yeah, man. Like, in order for you to be a parent, like a good parent at least, bro, is the most selfless act, because a lot of the time, especially within like my type of community, especially being like African diaspora, right? What tends to happen is that a lot of parents on the vibe are like, bro, they're raising the kids as an investment. So they're raising them in the hopes that when they basically get old, their kids are going to be their retirement plan. And bro, for me personally, I'm planning obviously retiring my parents, but I don't believe it's the best plan any parent should have, because in reality, the kids didn't actually ask to be here. Do you know what I mean? That's just me being real. Kids didn't ask to be brought to this world. You decided to actually get down that night and obviously conceive things like that. And outside of that as well, it's very, very like damaging for a parent to tell a child that, bro, like you're my investment. And when I get older, you have to basically do A, B, and C for me, etc. It's just like, bro, a lot of kids and a lot of people, especially our age, with this whole social media kind of thing, we're not in a mentality of, being cultured to that aspect where you're going to put yourself at detriment just to make sure that your parents are okay. Even though when they were bringing you up, it wasn't necessarily the best, you know what I mean? They're just doing the bare minimum, what any parent should basically do. And that sense of entitlement isn't the healthiest kind of thing to have in the relationship with your kids as well. You kind of treating your kids as like a slave versus treating them as actual human beings. Do you know what I mean? So it's one of them ones where I just really, really think that as parents, you need to understand before even conceiving that, bro, is the most selfless act, man. The most selfless act, because you can clearly see the difference between the kids that come from a good home versus the kids that come from the broken homes, bro. Do you get it? And I feel like we need to end that, but it's not going to end, unfortunately. Do you get it?
What you're supposed to do. And then you add on the extra things such as, traveling with them, taking them out, doing this. So it's most definitely something, if you're selfish, don't have them. And I can respect this, brother.
Bro, the older I get, the more I feel like I don't want kids. Like I've always been like this since I was younger. That I mean, I don't have anything against it, but I've just always it's kind of selfish, but I've always enjoyed my free
And
time.
one thing, it's nothing wrong with being selfish. This life shit is so precious. Like, even the fact that so many of us, walk around here healthy, no type of health problems. You're breathing. You're able to have this human experience. A lot of us take that shit for granted. So I can completely understand not wanting to have kids because you just want to enjoy that shit.
I'm able to go to the gym in the morning, go to the gym at night, be up late. I can do whatever I want, and I just
Majority of the time, I'm knocking out work early in the morning. Like, it's 6 a.m. right now, or extremely late at night. So you really have to schedule your time, especially with young children. Like, my kids aren't in school, they not in daycare. So they are truly our priority. And you gotta think about that, bro. Your life is gonna revolve around your kids. It's just the fact. As a person that has 3 kids, so like a typical schedule, should I get up, get some work done? Me and my wife, we switch out making breakfast sometimes. So sometimes I do it, sometimes she'll do it. I'm more of an early bird, so most of the time I'm doing that and she'll make dinner for them. So when I get up, like, you kind of got to be on go mode. You got to have things planned out. And I love being planned, so this is no problem with me. But you know what I'm saying? I kind of have a set, like, schedule in my mind. Okay, I'm going to do this, then I'm going to do this, and then get this ready for them. So true.
Yeah, man, the guy's responsible, bro. He's responsible, like very, very likable person, man. I think it's just one of them ones where, again, when you look at a lot of parents, you can just tell that, bro, they didn't actually plan for you to even be there, bro. If you see the way, like, I've been seeing some parents, yeah, when it comes to just doing basic shit for their kids, they're on the vibe of like, I have to do this again. I have to go into school and I have to do like, bro, you decide to have the kid, bro. So if you decide to have the kid, don't be on that whole lack of accountability kind of thing. In fact, I saw a TikTok not too long ago, and I'm actually going to show you guys where basically the kid that I think the firstborn within the family, he was born with autism, no non-verbal autism, and the parents were very, very big on the lack of having that victim mentality of, when people basically say, sorry that your kid's autistic and things like that, I feel so sorry for you, etc. They actually say, nah, bro, like, I feel sorry for you for thinking that. Well, do you know what I mean? I'll show you guys right now. So big shout out to TCG Fitness. He's the one talking about him and his brother.
With my mom, they have loads of followers. I don't really need to shout them out, but I'll shout them out. I'll leave their tag below. But one thing my parents taught me with the way they've handled my brother and the way they handle people was they've dropped the victim mentality from early. When people come up to them and they say, "Oh, I'm sorry to hear that your son's autistic," sometimes they might reply, "Be sorry for yourself," because they don't see themselves as a victim. They don't see themselves as people need to be sorry for themselves. And I feel like this approach has really helped me from a young age, that you just have to drop that victim mentality and get to it. Don't let anything affect your happiness. But yeah, that's just me.
1000%. And I just generally believe that as a parent anyway, you should always be in the mentality of, bro, like, again, you made a decision to basically bring these kids to the world. So the worst thing you could ever do is basically be on a vibe of like making your kids kind of feel as if though that, like, firstly you didn't plan for them, and making them feel as if though that you don't want them either. That's the worst feeling any kid can basically have. Do you know what I mean? So I generally believe every single parent, it's in their best interest to change their mentality towards their kids, bro. Because your kids, bro, like, they're not a slave. They're not these people that have been fought. Bro, you brought them here. You know what I'm saying? So have a change of mindset, man. Honestly speaking, bro. I wish it was like parent school, and that in that parent school, they were just teaching people you have to do A, B, and C, have this type of mentality, so on and so forth. The world would be a better place, man, if homes are fixed. But again, I think like it's too lucrative of an institution and a thing to basically have fixed homes, because if you fix the homes, you're gonna get a lot of things basically changing. You're gonna have less consumerism, less digestion of like social media, so many things. But let me not get in my conspiracy back right now, guys.
The sacrifice that most people aren't willing to have.
I just don't see myself with kids, dude. And I feel like obviously if I were to have kids on accident, it'd be a blessing and all that good stuff. Yeah. But like since I was like 16, 17, 18, I've known that kids aren't for me, bro. But I'll be a cool uncle. Like when my brother and my sister, they have kids. But bro, this is enough. Look at this. This is my son.
Hey,
Yeah, man, people are switching out the kids for the dogs and the pets and stuff like that. It's actually crazy.
even animals, bruh. So the crazy thing, right? Before me and my wife had our kids, we had 3 dogs. It's crazy because we got 3 kids now, but we had 3 dogs. And I swear that shit was a lot. And that kind of trained me to get on the schedule with kids because I would get up early, take them outside, take them on walks. It was like a good little responsibility. I loved my dogs, but when we had our kids, we didn't really have time for them, so we had to give them out to friends and stuff. But if you think about having kids, see how you do with animals first. You know what I'm saying? Even though there are 2 completely different things, kind of the same premise though. You have a responsibility.
Yeah, bro. Like, I don't know why people try to, like, pressure it on you. Like, oh, you're missing out and this and that. And I'm like, bro, like, I'm out.
Now, don't get me wrong. Having kids has its upsides. Just seeing my kids, like, them playing around, them being so happy. It's truly a feeling that you can't replicate.
I enjoy my sleep. Like, I'm in bed by 9, bro. I'm an old head. I'm an unk.
Gen Z doesn't.
Even me, man. I'm trying to dial in them 9 p.m. sleeping times, bro. But it's very, very hard, especially when you're working as a producer and art. I'm not an artist, but a producer, engineer, and obviously helping artists, build songs and helping them with their music market and stuff like that. You know what I mean? It's very, very difficult. But, bro, when you dial in that 9 p.m. sleep and you wake up early, bro, you're superhuman. Because a lot of people are sleep deprived. And when you get kids, forget about sleep, honestly.
Or at least they statistically less than previous generations. But I raise the question of how are you supposed to in these conditions? Material conditions so poor, I can't get it up, man. Genuinely, because like most people I know have roommates. You have to orchestrate fucking around a roommate. How annoying. And then like, okay, cool, get a hotel room, bitch, that costs money. You know people with money? No. And then it's like, okay, cool, you orchestrate around the roommates, things like that. That works. I've orchestrated that around my roommate before. It's fine, it's whatever, but it's not ideal because you do have to be
Yeah, man. I think that's another factor. Like over in the UK, people were talking about like a cost of fucking crisis. You know what I mean, for the lack of better words. And they were just talking about the fact that, bro, when you actually look at it, because you have so much going on with the economy and stuff like that, people are very, very hesitant to basically get into the act. You know what I mean? And if you're hesitant in terms of getting into the act, then of course you can't necessarily have kids. But my people, them, I'm going to leave the link for this down below. Make sure to watch it. And yeah, man, let me know anything else you guys want me to respond to and react to. Make sure to follow as well. I appreciate it.